All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about the position one and specifically loaded position one breaths. Now, a lot of people will see this and they're going to automatically think about dead bugs or dying bugs, whatever you know them as. But the emphasis here really needs to be on how we're breathing and how we're actively bracing throughout. Okay? So I'm going to demo without speaking for a moment and just kind of tune into the details, and then we'll talk about those. All right, so there were 4 reps, right? And we count these by touches down or movements of the legs. Now, a couple things. You'll notice that this one, I'm holding a kettlebell directly overhead, or over my face, if you will. And it doesn't have to be super heavy. You could use bumper plate, you could use a dumbbell. It doesn't really matter, but the loaded position one tends to be a little bit easier for people to do well. There's just a counterbalance there that kind of keeps us anchored. Now, when we do this, it's important that you think about, and I'll kind of show you from this perspective here, we want this curvature going on. So I'm letting my knees kick out and my knees are bent. As I do the movement, I'm going to maintain that bend at the knee rather than like a dead bug or a dying bug where we're just thinking about straight out, right? So that bend at the knee makes it easier for you to stay braced and keep connection between the floor and your low back. When we do this, it is not an artificial ab crunch to smash your low back into the floor. What we're actually thinking about is taking air in through our nose and down into our torso, and effectively taking our trunk or midline and expanding it, right, in a 360-degree circle. So not only does the belly expand, but the obliques, the sides expand, and our back should actually pressurize more into the floor, right? But it's not just crunching down so that your low back loses its neutral position, and we're basically checking the box on back to the floor. It's how you do it that matters, okay? So we really want to think about taking the air in, filling it up, and then bracing against it, right? Squat University does a really good job of talking about, what's it called? Diaphragmatic breathing. And that's basically what's going on, right? We take breath in and we pressurize against. Another way you can think about it, and I think he uses this analogy as well, an empty Coke can versus a full Coke can. So if the volume is there, that Coke can is really solid, you can't crush it, right? But if there's no volume inside, nice and easy to crush, right? So we want to think about being a full Coke can, locked in, everything's nice and tight as we do that. Now, as far as the movement and the breathing process goes, think of this just like you would if it were a squat, a deadlift, whatever. You always inhale, then you brace, and then you move, right? When you have made it through your rep, then you can exhale, and then inhale and brace, and then move. So really it's just important that you think of it as inhale, brace, and move, okay? So I'm gonna demo a couple more, and you guys can kind of now see what is going on while I'm doing it with this added information, okay? So, weight directly overhead, arms are straight, legs are bent and open, and from here, this is where we inhale, brace, and then move, okay? One of the common faults, we'll see of this, by the way, is people try to pick their head up, and that's what I'm talking about, that artificial crunch, right? Your head is down so that you have to work for that brace and that connection with the floor. So again, inhale, brace, and move. Controlled exhale once you've made it through the effort. And there we go. That's loaded position 1 breathing. Give that a shot. That's great for anybody that's having any sort of low back issues or just new folks that need to learn how to stabilize and brace under load for more effective power production, but then also safer lifts. So this is what we warm up with almost every single day here at TCS. We start with our loaded position 1 breaths and other midline activators. So give this a shot, start to implement it, and I bet those numbers go up.